Being child-free enabled us to retire early. Life is now like those long summer breaks you had as a teenager, just 100 times better because... Hey everyone, welcome back to Lives on Reddit. Don't forget to subscribe to be a For Lifer. You now have money, your own place, no controlling parents, and it never ends. We have been reading your child-free posts for months. People are so funny and insightful. Your rants and stories have made us laugh. Thanks. We thought our experience might help those fence-sitters and those just starting out. When I met my wife at 25, we are now both 55, we knew our child-free life was going to be different. These are the biggest benefits of being child-free. 1, we did not need or want a big house, new cars, fancy vacations, or unnecessary stuff. 2, we could work long 80 hours a week if required and be totally career-driven. 3, we were able to save like mad with some sacrifices. 4, our mission was to retire early and then follow our passions. 5, so with the small mortgage paid off quickly, savings mounting, we got to 39 and said, all right, game over. Resigned, moved out of the city, and started phase 2. Friends ask, don't you get bored? I'll reply, did you get bored during your carefree breaks when you were a teenager? Another common question is, why did you not work for longer and make more money? Our response, no kids, no mortgage, and a humble lifestyle with low outgoings, we have just enough. One of us could get ill next year or worse, die. So we want to enjoy ourselves while we still can. You never know what's around the corner. Phase 2, our never-ending summer, fall, winter, and spring break. We do voluntary work with rescue or homeless dogs. We foster, rehabilitate, rehome, and have adopted many lost souls, dogs. 3 walks a day, come rain or shine, keeps us fit and stops us from getting too lazy. In between our walks, lots of reading, too much TV, chilling out, and anything else we like. We're not 55 and sometimes act like teenagers and just have fun. 16 years and counting and still not getting bored. Why would people have kids and give this all up? Live your life and have fun. Thanks for reading and good luck to all you young people out there. Regarding friends asking, don't you get bored? Whenever people say this, I just want to spit out my drink. I have so much that I want to do with my life. There's no time to sit there and think about not having anything to do. Kids would kill your dreams. I'm happy for you and your spouse. I look forward to doing the same. Wife and I have seen several friends, less than 30, who meet someone, get married, and get pregnant on purpose in under 2 years. We've tried to figure out why anyone would jump to that so quickly, and the best we can come up with is boredom caused by a lack of imagination. Even before we were 100% sure we didn't want kids, we knew for sure we didn't want to consider it for the first 5 to 10 years. We were still figuring out who we were as individuals and as a couple, exploring life together. It seems like a kid would throw a huge wrench into that process. 12 years in, our choice to be child-free stems from the fact that the adventure of trying new things and growing together has never slowed down. We like kids, we have a bunch of nieces and nephews we really enjoy spending time with. But our own kid would just be a huge left turn from a lifestyle that we found to be very rewarding for us. Obviously, not everyone decides to stay in that place forever, but when I see friends announce a pregnancy 6 months after marrying someone they've only been with a couple of years, I'm thinking, you've already run out of things you wanted to do together that didn't involve kids? It's just kind of sad to me when people don't seem to see much responsibility for fulfillment in marriage beyond having children. Wow, retired at 39? What did you guys actually do? And what were these sacrifices? So jealous. Sorry, we're not trying to show off or make people jealous. There's no way we could have retired at 39 with kids. It would have been 60 to 65 if we had gone the usual route. My wife got into human resources when she was 18. With Correspondence University, she just worked her way up from the bottom with a very supportive company. I did something similar, but in IT. 18 to 39 was hard. Lots of exams, wiped out evenings and weekends for years, and then years of corporate stress. So now it's payback time. But look, this lifestyle is not for everyone. It just worked for us. The biggest savings come from living in a small place and not having kids. But one example of our sacrifices, On average, we would go to the cinema once a week, plus take out food, and go to a restaurant once a week. But we stopped at 29 as loud people and louder kids normally spoilt the evening. We liked staying in and liked cooking, so it suited us. But we were now saving around $100 per week, $5,000 per year. From 29 to 39, that added around $50,000 to our savings plan. And from 40 to 80 years old, that is or will be another $200,000 we did not need to budget for. Boring? Yes. Prudent? Yes. Worth it to retire that bit early? Yes. For us anyway. 85% of people don't enjoy their jobs. See below. Why work for an extra 20 to 25 years to have kids and be unhappy? That sinking Sunday night feeling for 2 extra decades? No thanks. Source: since 2000, Gallup has polled millions of employees from nearly 200 countries around the world about their level of job satisfaction. In 2013, Forbes magazine reported on the poll saying, work is more often a source of frustration than fulfillment for nearly 90% of the world's workers. The number of global employees described by Gallup as emotionally disconnected from their workplaces is only slightly better this year, 85%, than 4 years ago, 87%. The rate is slightly better in some countries like the United States, where only 70% of people hate their jobs. Makes me wonder how people propose to raise children in the first place. I mean, my parents' little family unit that spawned yours truly was still bankrolled by a previous generation of millionaires. They still fricked it up. I'm talking divorce, debt, falling off the social mobility ladder, and ending up in the dirt. Giant house with 2 cars, motorcycle, speedboat, houseboat docked at nearby lake, dirt bikes, etc., all sold to cover debts. I'm in my 30s, poor as frick, student loan debt, apartment crowding with other 30-year-olds, lol. If I could have even had 10% the support my dad had, things would have been so much easier. I don't want all the toys and lavish crap my parents had. I literally just want to not give away half my paycheck to live an extremely Spartan life because I decided that despite no support from my family, I'd go to school. I'm gonna have to be child free just to even have the chance to retire at 70. I can't afford to stop working because tools. I need so many tools. And my wife is like, classes. I can take so many classes and all the things. Granted, I'm 23 and she's 20. Blew her goddamn mind when I said we could just not have kids. We also live fairly simply and are all around homebodies. Okay, I'm a shop body, but still. We don't party or eat out a lot and both have potentially lucrative careers aligning. Hope we can be just like you. When my husband and I moved into our retirement house, he stood there with all his tools in his new shop, a shop of his own, and just about bawled. It's kind of how I felt with my studio. 3 monies and no kids, all day. I knew a child-free couple back in England. They were both in their 60s. Ian was retired and his wife Liz was working part-time. She plans to retire in a few years. They have an awesome life. Ian is more chilled. He likes to garden and fix the house before wandering down to the pub where I worked. He would sit there and have a few pints and chat to people. Liz has about 1,000 hobbies. She also loves traveling and goes on little holidays on her own. They have a lovely house, a car each, a cat they adore, and a very healthy nest egg. They have 0 regrets. Both look like they are in their 40s still. They also have a playful and youthful sense of humor. It is hard to explain, but I think you all know what I mean. They both like kids, but only in small doses, and they never had any twinge to have their own. What really stood out to me was how in love with each other they were. They have been married over 35 years, but they're like kids in a honeymoon period. It's just adorable. They get on so well, and there's so much respect between them. Couple goals. I know a few parents who have that childlike spirit, but it is rare in parents. I absolutely love not having kids. One thing I notice about my own life is I don't make nearly as much as many people I see talking about money online. Spent most of my 20s working crappy jobs that didn't pay all that much above minimum wage, to be honest. And now I'm doing much better, but still not raking in the dough by any means. Early retirement isn't a goal for me, but a low-stress job I like is so great. And the thing is, I don't feel deprived or poor or like I don't have enough money, even though I know people who complain about poverty despite making more than me. It's definitely about mindset in some ways. I don't mean to be glib. Like, of course, there are people who are struggling and mindset won't help them not be poor. But for a lot of people, the things they choose to spend money on is optional. Kids being a major one, of course. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't leave. Subscribe. Be a for lifer. Ooh.